Hi guys, I thought I'd make a video today about how I can teach you how to use all the acting training I had to sort of cope with real life. For example, if you are currently, not to mention any names, but you're currently like struggling behind the eight ball and working on getting caught up on bills, and as you pursue more work, more income, manifesting money, whether it's in sales, customers, or motivating yourself, or interviews, or auditions, or whatever you're trying to do, you've got to keep your energy up and your vibe up in order to attract the money to you, because money is energy. I've gotten lots of books and tapes over the years on this, but it's true. And then your mindset and your confidence and, all of it really is just unbelievable. So we got to keep working on it. Maybe if our environment is not the energy that we think, or maybe it's higher than we think and people are busy. We have to just stay upbeat. So, for example, one way we could work on this is when I do get an audition, once in a while, and the role is for a very sad person, but I'm feeling very happy that day, for whatever reason. Anyway. So then you have to get into that frame of mind, and there's all kinds of acting techniques you can use to get into that state. Then be that character, but then immediately bounce yourself back into your regular mood and don't stay in that character. So, for example, if you are in a kind of a low, lethargic, low energy mood, and your audition is for a very upbeat character, sometimes you have to get that audition done in time to meet the deadline, and you can't wait until you can have more espressos or listen to positive thinking videos, or work on your energy. In other words, you've got to get it quick. So, and there's all kinds of techniques that you can do that, mindset and, thinking positive, praying, meditating, dancing, all kinds of things. And there's a lot of techniques. If you want more information, please like and subscribe and let me know. And then if you want like individual help with this, but you have to do this to cope in this world of today. And we can't think about yesterday or what we did wrong and what we said wrong. Maybe learn from it, but we got to be quick and move on. Then another thing is not trusting the universe to catch our back or have our back when things go wrong, or God. It's like if you proclaim to believe in God, as I do. I was raised Catholic, and I'm a Catholic and a Christian, and I believe in all people being happy with their God and everything, and that we're really may all be worshiping the God, the universal God that is, in other words. But in order to do that, you have to have faith in yourself and faith in God. And if you're doubting yourself and doubting that things will work out, that shows that we are ye of little faith. So, it's all a challenge, but it can be a downward spiral. And then we have to trust other people to help us. Sometimes if you don't really like asking for help, you always want to do everything on your own, but you need help. You have to reach out, and you have to not have too much pride, and I have that. But I am asking you guys, you can always, if you're listening to me, whoever you are right now, please like and subscribe to my channel. even if you don't like it, just help me out. You can always unsubscribe later. I'm trying to get up to 500 subscribers so I can get monetized. That will help me with some extra bills as I continue to try to get my income up. See, but it's like, our thoughts are things, our sentences are sentence, all these things, you know, to manifest, you have to believe it, but you also have to have the energy of belief. In other words, if you believe it, sort of, kind of, sort of, I mean, I am really like someone who has struggled with this concept my entire life. My dad was a depression baby, among other things, whatever, but he was a hard worker. And hard worker will, if you really work hard, that will keep your head above water and everything usually, although there is setbacks, and we've had setback after setback after setback in the universe, and we have to just keep going and not let it get to us. I know it's difficult, but I just thought I'd kind of talk to you about that right now, and I can make a longer video about it and everything another day. And then of course meeting you out in the world, whoever you are, I want to tell you that I do feel comfortable like talking to you, whoever you are, and I don't always dress up and wear, fix my hair and makeup, and so whatever reason, I apologize for that. But, that's kind of like a friend, just talking to you. But sometimes I do dress up and do hair and makeup. So, but anyway, but we can't feel subconscious or self-conscious, excuse me. We have to tap into our subconscious on the positive thinking too, but kind of transform that. But on a regular level, we have to not be self-conscious. So anyway, of everything, we have to kind of like who we are, and that's another thing I've struggled with. I'm really actually a very sweet person, but we live in a world where kind of the kind of whatever person usually we live in a world with very fast pace, and so sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the oil and all that kind of stuff, and but on the other hand, sometimes the more positive, sweet, authentic person wins. If you're too nice, and people think, how can you be so nice? But I feel like, why rile myself up? And as I've gotten older, I've learned how not to let people bother me as much, like trigger me. As my grandmother said, when you get to be older, she lived to be 99, like, that can raise your blood pressure up, and it's not worth it. And that just throws you off anyway. And I have let setbacks spiral me down also. But anyway, that's all. We have to kind of build ourselves up into a kind of more of an upbeat, positive energy in order to attract what we want, and also be decisive about what we want. Sometimes I've also been an indecisive person, and maybe you have too. Sometimes we're not always sure about who we like, what we like. There's always a catch. No matter who it is, there's always going to be a catch to that situation and that person and that type of thing. So, and whether it's personally or professionally or whatever, everybody's got their quirks, and nobody's perfect, and nobody's really super easy peasy to get along with. I mean, all the time, as you get to know them. But if you maintain the surface level with them and don't get too close with them, it's not going to be an issue. But as soon as you start to get to know people, that's when all the challenges start. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you today. And keep on keeping on, one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, 1 year at a time, however you have to do it. Just 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time. Keep going. Don't worry, be happy, but keep moving and keep working towards your dreams and your goals, and don't get discouraged. And I'm talking to myself here as well as you. Okay, thank you. Bye.